I'm Justin Davis, and this is Drone Camps RC. Hey, how's it going? Hopefully you're looking for the right DJI Spark case or the right DJI Mavic case, and hopefully one of these here on the bench is the right one for you. Now, I have a variety of different options here, and some of them are more portable than others. By the way, I don't get any kickbacks from these companies. I'm just doing this review so that we can get the information out there on my channel and you guys can find out where to get this stuff. Now, this is also the most current cases that I have from these companies. This is August 2017, so very, very current, all these different cases. Some of them just actually came out and are just now available, so perfect timing for you guys to see these before the end of summer. So you can take it on your next trip, whether you're going on the airlines. We also have soft case options, and I have a nice waterproof case here. We also have a cheaper option for guys who don't want to spend $100 to $150 on a case. We have way cheaper stuff out there. So also, for a surprise for the Mavic guys, I have two other cases here that I'm going to showcase that also fit your DJI goggles, as well as this hard case over here fits the DJI goggles for the DJI Spark. So you guys are covered with your goggles, a waterproof option, and a soft case, and an economically priced one. So let's go ahead and get started with the first one out of the bunch. So this is the first one out of the bunch, and this one's for the DJI Spark by Freewell. This is the waterproof option, and this happens to be one of my favorites. I had to go ahead and start out with this case because I really like this one a lot. This one happens to be 13 to 13.5 inches wide by 10 inches deep by 5 inches high here. So this one is going to be easy to check. You could actually put this one in your book bag and carry it on the plane. Very, very easy to travel with. So let's go ahead and open this one up and show you the different options that are inside this one. It does have push button releases here on these little tabs, and they'll come up just like that. So the DJI Spark is housed really snug in here. It fits in really nice and tight, and there's no wiggle room at all on here. So that's what I like a lot. And I like this one a lot because the props are actually recessed across the top of this industrial foam. Also, guys, this is not styrofoam. This is actually industrial foam like they would use in some type of professional video production cases. Very nice. And you have room in here for 3 batteries, 1, 2, 3. Right now I only have 1, so I'm kind of crying the blues about that, but plenty of room in here for my accessories. I'm going to put lens filters in there, and I have some lens filters coming to show you guys from Freewell, by the way. And the transmitter, if you happen to buy the one with the transmitter, bam, there goes your transmitter, and you have extra slots here for propellers. And up on the top across here, you can't really see it, but I'll move the camera up and you guys can see some of the foam on the very top of the lid, so you don't have stuff bouncing around inside the case. But this is a nice option and happens to be, like I said, one of my favorites. There is a waterproof seal all the way around this lid right here, and these come down just like this and snap into place. Now, what I like about this, and I'm a video guy from way back, so I like the fact that they do have options for locks on both sides of this. If you wanted to put this through the check and put TSA locks on it, you could do that, so that's kind of nice too. Now, this case also has something different than some of the other cases. This one has a rubber handle grip, and this is nice because for a waterproof case, I did a lot of filming from jet skis, and we carried around a lot of Canon DSLR cameras out there in the water, and some of those cases had just a hard plastic case handle, and those tend to slip out of your hands at times where we dropped them on a boat. So this is kind of nice that you can grab a hold of that really nice and tight. And they also have recessed latches here that are protected by these bumpers that stick out, which is also kind of a nice detail that some people might not notice. So before we finish up with this one, let's go ahead and weigh this one in pounds. We're gonna go ahead and switch the scale over to pounds, and I'll set this one on there. Now, this is with the Spark and everything included inside it, so right around 4 pounds for this particular case is not a whole lot to carry. Now, the next case on my list, this is probably one of my favorites for a soft case. It is also the lightest and most portable case. You can carry this one as a standalone bag and carry it right on the plane with the shoulder strap, or the grab handle right here, just carry it with the rest of your luggage. And probably the lightest case that you're going to get for your DJI Spark. Now, it does have a sort of weather resistant exterior on it with this little Freewell logo in the front. You've got your grab handle up here with a rubber grip, sort of a canvas style attachment to the bag itself. Very nice easy to grip rubber zippers right here, rubber coated zipper handles, and you have two little strap connector points right there. So very nice. You can use the shoulder strap that comes along with it too. So I'll go ahead and open it up for you real quick so you guys can see the interior of it. Now it does have a mesh pouch on this side right here with a zipper right straight through the middle. I can put my DJI Spark accessories in there, like my USB port, USB charger, my extra props. I can put a battery right here. I can put my charger in there. It also has a spot right here where that can go. And then the DJI Spark itself, I can put right down in here just like that. Now this one doesn't have foam that reaches the very top of the props. So like the other one that I showed you, the other case, the props were actually recessed in the foam, and I like that about a case. If this case was just a little deeper, it would accommodate that, but trying to get this case as small and thin as possible for you guys, they did it that way, and they got this case under 3 inches, which is super nice. So you also have 2 extra spots here for batteries, so in total you could get 4 batteries inside this case and your transmitter there and all of your accessories in this mesh pouch right here. Not at all a bad option. So I'll just close this up right here like that, and we can go ahead and weigh this. Now let's go ahead and set this one on the scale, and this one's going to be the lightest of the bunch. So we're looking at 1.9 pounds, and that's with the basics of the DJI Spark. If you add in the transmitter in there, you're probably going to get up to 3 pounds and some extra batteries in there. But this is definitely going to be the lightest of the bunch, and probably my choice for this summer. Now the next one on the list, this is the carbon fiber looking one, and it's not a hard case, so if anything drops on this one, it could get damaged, but for day-to-day use and for something to just carry on the plane or stow in another bag, this would be perfect. Now this one's a little bit bigger and a little tiny bit heavier than the first one that I showed you, that smaller, slim, portable one, but this is the economic version. This is also going to be a little bit cheaper. It has this sort of carbon fiber looking material on the outside, and I'm guessing that this one's probably weather resistant, maybe water resistant, but these seams might actually leak. So I'll go ahead and open up this, I'll show you here inside the case. This handle right here is rubber, by the way. And right away we have a nice mesh pocket right here with a zipper, so I can put tons of extra stuff in here, extra props, maybe even an extra battery, because this is pretty deep right here. It's deeper than the other one that I showed you just recently before this one. Now this one is also very much like some of those other cases. That first case that I showed you, the DJI Spark is recessed in there, and the motors don't stick out above the foam, which I also like. So that's a pro of this case versus the last one that I showed you. You also have room in here for your charge accessories, some other holes in there for some extra props and things. If you didn't buy the controller, you could stick a couple extra batteries in here. So right away you can get 3 batteries in here, 1 inside the drone and 2 here. Now like I said, you could probably fit a couple more over here, but also it has sort of a cheaper feeling foam on this one compared to the Freewell bags. The Freewell cases seem to have a little better foam. This is probably not going to last quite as long. It doesn't seem to be coated with any type of top coat. The other ones had some type of top coat on them. So I'll go ahead and close that up, and let's go ahead and put this one on the scale and weigh it. So let's go ahead and set this one on the scale and see what we get. This is also going to be a competitor to the Freewell one. This one's just over 2 pounds. That's actually kind of amazing. And this one's also way portable. Super light and very portable, and more cost effective than any of them that you're going to see in this video. Now this is probably the biggest DJI Spark case I've ever seen. Let's go ahead and get that out of the way. This guy is pretty big. It's measuring about 19.5 inches across and 16 inches wide right here, and about 5.5 inches deep. So the weight of this one's also going to be probably triple, if not more than that, than the other cases that I showed you. But this one also houses the DJI goggles and your other DJI accessories, and that's going to be pretty important for guys that have the goggles. If you want to travel with your goggles and you want to keep your $500 goggles safe, this is not going to be a bad investment at all. It does have 4 locks on here, and those are also optional TSA lock options right here. They have recessed locks that swing open just like that. There's sort of a two-stage lock right here on this one. This one opens up like this one like this, and this one just like that. And voila, look at all of the storage space inside here. It's actually really nice. Like I said before, it has that top coat on the foam here. Also a much more dense foam than some of the other cheaper cases. So this stuff is going to last way longer. Like I said, it feels more like video production quality foam inserts. And you have that top foam up here, pretty standard in a lot of video cases for video cameras and stuff. Let's go ahead and take the DJI Spark and set him down in there. And this is also another case that has the motors completely recessed across the top here. So if anything moves around in here at all, and it's not going to, but if it does, it's not going to damage this. So it has a lot of room here. There's probably another 1/4 inch down before it touches the DJI Spark, so that's kind of nice. And we also have plenty of options for extra batteries in here. Right now we see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 slots, and you can get an extra one inside the drone. So that's 6 total slots right there for your batteries. You can get creative and put some more in here if you have other stuff that you're not going to carry. You could stick one down in here or back in here. So also the goggles will fit perfectly right there, your straps and accessories right there, and some of your charge stuff and USB cables over on that side. Now, a lot of the attributes of a good case are that things fit in nice and snug. So the Spark, it feels pretty good. It could be a little tighter here, but it's easy to get in and out. I think if you had a battery in this, it would fit a little more snug the way it's supposed to fit, because right now I don't have a battery in it, and it does move just a little bit, but it's super important that things stay still when you're transporting it. So if this moves at all on you, you don't have a battery in here for transport, I would add some extra foam on the sides here just to keep it snug and make sure that it doesn't move. Now this battery right here, by the way, I just wanted to show you this. This is really in there tight. So these batteries are not going to come out of these slots. This one over here looks like an accessory spot for the charger, the USB charger itself. So that will stick down in there like that. And the props can go over here in that spot, and a USB cable back there as well, right near where the goggle straps will go. But that's a pretty nice case, also with a rubber grip handle. But one of the bigger options, and probably one of the nicer options if you have all the rest of this DJI Spark gear. So let's go ahead and take everything you see here and put it on the scale. Okay, so with all of the DJI Spark stuff in the box without the actual transmitter, let's go ahead and weigh this one. I have it on. I'm just going to set it to pounds here on the scale. And I'll go ahead and set the box down on the scale. And this box actually weighs right around 8 pounds with everything loaded up inside it, minus the transmitter. So you're going to get quite a bit of case for under 10 pounds. For a hard case is actually pretty decent. This is a lot slimmer than some of the other cases that I've had years past. Actually roughly half the size, because normally these were at least 8 inches deep, and this one's considerably thinner. So a lot more portable even for a hard case. Now we're moving on to the DJI Mavic hard case here, and this is the more portable of the two that I'm going to show you. This one is way lighter than the next one, but this one has no room for DJI goggles. If you're looking for DJI goggles, that will be the next case. So if you want to skip forward to that next part, you can do that. This was the original DJI Spark case that I showed you before. Roughly the same size, just a little bit smaller and a little bit lighter than the Mavic case. But you can't use this one particularly for a Mavic, but it does have 2-step locks on that one as well. Very similar foam on the inside of this one. And this one is also a watertight Mavic case, so very similar foam quality. 2-stage foam on this on the top, and it's coated as well, so very hard industrial foam in here. It's not anything like styrofoam, so pretty nice case. Let me move this one to the side and I'll show you guys this one a little bit closer. I've got my Mavic in here, and some of the points I made before about having the motors recessed, this one actually doesn't have the motors recessed. You can see in this case they stick up just a little bit, but they have extra foam on the top right here, which kind of comes down soft on top. Now when I first started getting DJI cases 3 or 4 years ago, I had some issues with some of them because some of them, when they closed, the way the manufacturers made them, they were really tight on the top of the motors, right on the top of the props. They got a lot of pressure on the very top of the case, so anything that would push on it at all might actually damage the top of the motors. And some of those hard cases actually flexed a little bit, and this doesn't feel like it's going to flex at all. So it's not something that I'm going to worry about when I'm transporting stuff. And I have a lot of room in here for extra batteries. And right now I only have one battery for my Mavic at the moment, so I need to buy a couple extra batteries to fit in here, but it fits everything in here. My charger stuff here, my transmitter here, my charge cable and props in here, USB cable, and some different accessories that I have for my Mavic all fit in here too with those extended landing gear. So everything closes nicely in here, 2-stage locks, and you have options for TSA locks side to side there. And this one doesn't have the rubber grab handle like the other one had, which I kind of wish this one, maybe if they do a new version of it, it would have some type of rubber grab handle on this one. That would be nice. They also have a pressure release valve right here, so you can let some air in the box, or you can turn it really tight to the right and seal it off completely from the air outside the box. But a pretty nice case too. Recessed locks, they're coated right here on the sides, so you have a little bit of a standoff where the locks don't get hit or damaged. And you have some reinforcements on the front on each side here, and you have reinforcements coming over top of the hinges too to give them some protection from bumps and from when you're setting it down on any type of hard surface. So that's also pretty nice. And overall, this case is probably been my favorite this year from Freewell. Probably the most portable hard case that I know that they make. So I've got the scale zeroed out. Let's go ahead and set this case on the scale and see what we get. I believe it's under 8 pounds and right at about 7.5. So not bad, 7.5 pounds fully loaded with all of my stuff in there. So now I saved the biggest and best for last for the Mavic Pro. This is just like the other version that I showed you for the DJI Spark that will allow the DJI goggles to fit in there with your Mavic and all of your Mavic accessories. This is pretty cool because this is also a very slim case, under 6 inches deep, and we're looking at about 19.5 wide and 16.5 across. So a very slim case. Also, it's same exact weight as the DJI Spark case, but it's going to be a little bit heavier, probably in the 8 to 9 pound range with all of your Mavic accessories and your DJI goggles inside. But let's go ahead and show you the exterior of the case. You have a nice rubber grip handle, and I'm kind of expecting that for this size of case. It makes it a little more comfortable to carry it. And there is also a valve on this one for releasing the pressure inside the box. If it starts to cave in a little bit, some of these boxes will do that. They'll get the air sucked out of them. Kind of a vacuum effect. You can tighten this up and air seal it, especially if you're going to take this around wet weather conditions or in the water. This is going to be a nice waterproof case for that as well. You also have TSA options for the locks on the outside. You have sort of a 2-stage locking mechanism here. This folds up like this and comes down and locks just like that on both sides. But you have 4 locks on this one as well, 2 on the side and 2 in the front. And these are also recessed, by the way, and they have bumpers guarding these locks, so that's kind of nice. A little more durable. They have bumper guards on the outside edge of this box as well, out here on the side. And in the back, we have sort of a recessed, but we have a different type of hinge on the back of this one, a little more industrial. It looks like they have a giant rod running through, the steel rod running all the way through right here. Now, I don't know if that's stainless or not, but if you take this in the ocean, this could possibly rust. But I'm gonna have to wait and find out later this summer when I do some jet skiing with this, and take it out to the islands to fly this. Now, inside of this one, if you open this up, you can open it up on the outside here too. Open that up, and you have tons of room inside this case for all kinds of gear. You have a spot for 2 batteries in there, here and here, and a 3rd spot right there. Kind of hiding, I have one of my DJI Mavic accessories in there. I have my extendable landing gear in there, my charger and accessories in there, transmitter right here, the Mavic here, and my USB cable here. Now this slot right here, that's where your DJI goggles will go into, and your other straps and accessories can go around there. But like I showed you before on some of the other cases, these motors aren't recessed at all. But the good thing about that is that this has compensation for that. So when it comes down and locks, it doesn't touch the top of the motors at all. The foam is perfectly set on top of these motors, so you don't have any pressure on the Mavic itself. And the Mavic fits in there quite nice. It's actually kind of snug in there. Fits in there and sits, and it's not going to move around at all while you're transporting it. So a very, very nice case for anybody who has DJI Mavic goggles. And you want a slimmer case, more portable, just an easier case to travel with. Something like the cases from even a year ago were just much, much bigger than this. They were massive. So this is probably one of the larger Mavic size cases, but if you have the DJI goggles, it's definitely a good idea to get something like this to protect your goggles. So let's go ahead and put this one on the scale and see how much this one weighs with my Mavic gear in there. Okay, so I've got the scale on. Let's go ahead and set the case with the Mavic and all the accessories in there and see what kind of weight we get with this one. I'm expecting close to 10 pounds. Right on the money, 10.2 pounds for this case, and the little bit of a Mavic accessories that I have. Now that's without the goggles, so keep that in mind. Putting the goggles in there is probably going to add another pound worth of weight on top of what I already have in there, and maybe just a little more if you do have extra batteries and things like that, which I'm sure you do have. So guys, that's all the cases that I have to show you for today, but you know what, we're going to go ahead and wrap up this video, and I wanted to show you just kind of a comparison of where we're at nowadays as compared to last year with something like a Phantom 4 Pro. A lot of people still fly the Phantom 4, and I think it's great, but it's just not quite as portable as the Mavic. Even these two cases and the size difference, you can see that a Phantom case is just massive, even from the side. Like we had under 6 inches on this one deep. Look how deep this one is. This one is way thicker, and you're looking at almost 12 inches deep right there on the side of that case. Now this is a really nice Phantom 4 case from Bestum Aerial, but this is quite a bit larger and quite a bit heavier, and this one weighs close to 15 pounds. With the Phantom in there, you're looking at just under 20 pounds, so quite a bit heavier. Not really something you're gonna hike with, but like I said, this one also very portable, right around 10 pounds, and a lot easier with this DJI Mavic case. So I am a big fan of the Mavic. People ask me what to get all the time. If you're a photographer, maybe get the Phantom 4 Pro. If you're looking to just shoot awesome video and have something super portable, get something like the Mavic Pro, because these little cases that they're making now, that they're coming out with, they're super compact. So you really can't go wrong with any of these different style cases. And when you move on down to something like the DJI Spark, you're getting super, super, super small. So a lot of options out there, guys. I just wanted to show you a few of the different options that I have available right here in my shop. So thanks again for watching, you guys. Please do subscribe on the Drone Camps channel, because I'm going to bring you tons more new gear, options, and accessories for DJI drones.